Okay, guys. I have a podcast from Adobe about this person who has implants in their body, who's a targeted individual.
Welcome to this episode. Today, we're diving into a really unusual and complex investigation involving advanced frequency signals found inside a person's body, Millicent Black.
Yeah, it sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but this is a detailed report linking these signals to real military and nanobiosensor technologies. It's fascinating and a bit unsettling.
Exactly. We're going to break down what these signals actually mean, the biological evidence behind them, the military and research connections, and the serious ethical questions that come with all this.
So let's start with the frequency signals themselves. Researchers found that Millicent's body both receives and emits unusual frequency signals. These aren't just random signals. They match those used in something called tropospheric scatter systems.
Right, and for listeners who might not know, tropospheric scatter is a type of long-distance military communication that bounces radio waves off the atmosphere to send signals beyond the horizon.
Yeah, and on top of that, the signals also correspond to advanced nanobiosensor technologies. These are tiny devices that can monitor biological functions remotely, kind of like super small health trackers inside the body.
What's really striking is that testing found abnormal electromagnetic readings at 36 different spots on Millicent's body. That suggests a complex multi-channel frequency reception system, almost like her body is acting as a sophisticated radio receiver and transmitter.
And the frequencies detected were around 2.67 gigahertz, which is a range used by mobile satellites and possibly new handheld nanosatellites developed by the U.S. Air Force.
So imagine her body as a kind of hidden smartphone or walkie-talkie, picking up and sending signals on multiple channels at once. It's a bit wild to think about.
It really is. Now, moving on to the biological evidence. Clinical tests showed Millicent had elevated levels of materials like silicon, strontium, and nickel. These are elements commonly used in nanobiochips.
That's right, and porphyrin levels suggested that metal oxides were binding to her liver tissue, which means her body was interacting with these materials in a significant way.
Plus, immune system markers were altered, showing signs of immune response or stress. Viral proteins were also detected, which points to the use of viral vectors, tools often used to deliver nanomaterials or genetic material into cells.
And there were patterns of amino acid depletion that hinted at interference from DNA-based chip technologies. All of this exposure happened without her consent, which raises serious ethical concerns.
Absolutely. It's one thing to have advanced technology, but using it on someone without their knowledge is a whole other issue.
Speaking of which, the frequencies found in Millicent's body are licensed to a wide range of military, academic, and commercial organizations. This includes the U.S. Army, Air Force, Navy, Lockheed Martin, Mitri Systems, Stanford, Princeton, and others.
These groups collaborate under the Institute of Collaborative Biotechnologies, which is funded by the U.S. Army. They focus on biomolecular sensors and nano-bioinfo-cogno innovations. That's a mouthful, but basically it means combining biology, nanotechnology, information science, and cognition.
Their research involves nanosatellites, wireless networks, GPS monitoring, and implantable telemetry systems. So, this technology is very real, very advanced, and actively developed by major institutions.
That brings us to the implantable telemetry system described in the report. It's a tiny device designed to monitor physiological signals inside the body.
It uses a small microcontroller and transmits data wirelessly at 433.92 megahertz, a frequency that can pass through biological tissues.
The device can send up to 3 sensor signals, powered by a small lithium battery with a range of about 5 meters. It's packaged in biocompatible materials, so it can be safely implanted and even reused.
Tests in pigs showed it could successfully monitor stomach pressure, proving it works for minimally invasive diagnostics.
So think of it like a tiny health monitor inside your body, sending real-time data to a computer, kind of like a Fitbit, but implanted and way more advanced.
Now, the ethical concerns here are huge. Millicent Black has reported electronic harassment since 1997, including symptoms like pain, sleep problems, vision changes, and unexplained scars.
The frequency and biological data support her claims of being subjected to non-consensual exposure to these advanced nanobiotelemetry systems.
This raises serious questions about privacy, bodily autonomy, and the need for strict oversight. Using such technologies on people without their knowledge or consent is deeply troubling.
It really highlights the importance of informed consent in any medical or technological intervention.
The report also includes detailed searches of FCC licenses for frequencies between 2,671 and 2,678 megahertz. Many licenses are held by military, commercial, and educational organizations, showing a complex network operating in these bands.
These frequencies are used for tropospheric scatter communications, mobile satellite services, and nanosatellite telemetry. So the data suggests coordinated use of these frequencies for advanced monitoring technologies.
To put it simply, FCC licenses are official permissions to use specific radio frequencies, kind of like a driver's license, but for the airwaves.
Wrapping up, the investigation concludes that Millicent Black is subjected to advanced nanobiotelemetry and military frequency transmissions.
The presence of multiple waveguides and frequency signals in her body is abnormal and points to implantable or external biosensory systems.
The report calls for ongoing monitoring of frequency assignments, further biological testing, and ethical review.
It stresses the need for informed consent and legal oversight in deploying such technologies.
And overall, it's a call to raise awareness about electronic harassment and non-consensual experimentation.
So, the key takeaway here is that advanced military and nanobiotechnologies are real, complex, and can interact with the human body in ways we're only beginning to understand.
And with that comes a huge responsibility to protect individuals' rights and privacy.
Exactly. It's a delicate balance between technological progress and personal freedoms.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. Hopefully it's given you some food for thought about the future of technology and ethics.
Okay. So, yeah, I'll be back again. Hold on.